Before we get to the start of the video, I just want to point out that I do make a mistake in the installation. These shocks aren't universal left and right. They are specifically left-handed and right-handed. What I did was, there is a rubber flange here on both the top and the bottom that's supposed to face outward. Now in the video you're going to see me put them on essentially backwards, so left to right, right to left. Rest assured, I do change that around, so that's why I say that this took a lot of time and that I had to do it twice, because I essentially did. So yeah, so while it may look like I did it completely wrong in the video, I did go back and fix it. And that, kids, is why you read the manual. And on to the video. What's up everybody, Mystletainn here with another installation video. Today I'm going to be replacing the stock suspension on Mystletainn, my Bonneville T100 Black, with these Fox racing shocks. So these came from Triumph Cleveland. I've been looking at these for a while, just figured if I wanted to replace the shocks, might as well get something I really like. And let's open this up. Alright, so I opened this up last night. It was delivered at like 9:30 last night, so I didn't really have time to install it. So I already took a look at it. Inside the pack we have some bolts to replace the old ones. And then got the shocks themselves. So yeah, these are the factory options that you'd get if you were to customize at the dealership. And I kind of wanted to get, I for sure wanted to get, shocks that match the bike, so black shocks. And I kind of wanted to see what it's like to have one of these reservoirs. So here's one of them. See Fox. We have a knob for compression and stiff. And then we have Triumph branding. So yeah, let's get these shocks installed. Naturally, the first thing we have to do is get all the luggage off. So I'm telling you, this mono key system for the GV, really awesome. So the next thing we have to do is we have to take off the GV mounts, and then so I got to take off this, these two bolts here, and then I have to take out the third mounting point here, just so I have easy access to this right here, the shock. Now it'd be great to get rid of this silver shock, just replace it with a nice all black shock to kind of go with the theme of the bike. So let's get started. All right, we have our first stock suspension off. As you can see, I actually didn't have to remove the whole bracket, just one thing here. And I did want to, even though I probably didn't have to, I did want to remove the entire GV mounting rack right here, just so I have ease of access to everything down here. So first thing I'm going to do before I pop in the new shocks is I'm going to clean up all this dried thread lock, and then we'll put the new shock on. So I've cleaned up as much thread locker as I could off of the old posts here. There was more on this one because I've had to take this off several times. Once for the, I've had to put a lot of thread locker on here over the past year because of the helmet mount that I got and because of the new racks. All right, so it's time for our first shock to go on. Here it is. Just like earlier. Very nice looking. All right, and as expected, there is only one way these can go on, which is with the reservoirs facing to the back. So the first thing, well, yeah, I kind of have to put this one on before I put the top on. So let's start with the bottom. So for the bottom, I'm gonna use the bolt that came with the kit, simply because I need to use a different bolt for the top. The one I use up here is a little bit longer to account for both the helmet lock and the GV rack. So that looks really nice, actually. All right, so now I'm just gonna, tighten everything back up and then work on the other side. The GV rack is back on. These have been tightened to, hand tight, as my dad would say, German torque. But we do need to finalize the actual torque spec on the top and the bottom bolts of the shock. So let's see, Haynes tells me it's about 28 Newton meters, which roughly equates to 20.6 foot-pounds. So I'm just gonna torque it up to 21 foot-pounds of torque. Oh yeah, so the other reason why I can't use the bolt that came with the Fox shocks is because this head here won't fit in there. All right, let's get to torquing. All right, torqued. I don't torque this simply because when I take the muffler off, that happens more frequently than having to take any of these off. So I'm not going to torque that, just make sure it's real tight. Let's see, this one, the bolt back here, I don't know if I can get a torque wrench to fit back there. So let's try it, see what happens. It's probably a bad idea, but I guess for this one I'll bring the torque back down to maybe 15. That's 10. That's 15. Okay, let's see if it'll fit. As I suspected, it won't fit. Okay, so yeah, I already put Loctite on that, so I'm just gonna give it another German torque attempt, and then we move on to the other side after I put this foot peg back. So after a bit of a delay, and by I mean a bit of a delay, I actually had to do this twice. I have the Fox shocks on, right there, as you can see. With this rack on, there is plenty of space in between, so nothing hits. Right, there's the left side. Let's go to the right side. Oop. Right side. Yeah, it looks really nice on the bike, especially with that all black construction, even though you're not going to see it if I have the panniers on. So Triumph has a guide on how many, how you can adjust this. So this right here is preload adjustment, and they actually suggest you don't touch that, leave it at 0 unless you have a rider, in which case you go 7 3/4 of turns. But for the dampening, which is this little knob right here, they recommend having it zeroed with all the way in, so turn fully clockwise. And they have a multitude of settings. So just looking at the manual here, so we have For solo riding, their standard is 18 clicks counterclockwise. For comfort or softer suspension, it's 23 clicks counterclockwise. And for sport riding, it's 10 clicks counterclockwise. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to start at 18 clicks and go from there, ride for a little bit and see how I like that. So all you have to do is go, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And the same on the other side. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right, so can't wait to test this out. And that will about do it for this video. If you stayed to the end, thanks for watching. I'm really looking forward to see how this bike performs with these shocks on. I've already replaced the front fork shocks with Tech progressive springs, so suspension on this bike has been completely changed. And yeah, if you stayed to the end, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. More motorcycle and music stuff coming. Take care.